So I'm following Alex Hormozy's advice for the next 30 days. I did this once before. I lasted about 25 days and now I'm doing it again because the only way to improve fast is to do things fast. Boom. And that blew my mind because you understand it, but it's different when you go through it. The experience is like, oh, things are changing fast. And so by the second week, I was like very comfortable doing this every day. And the goal here is to become more of who you are. That is soul leveling. Soul leveling is becoming the person who you want to be all the time, like the identity you want, growing into that. It's like when you level up and you increase your stats, you literally become more of who you are. You become more of that character. You can unlock new abilities. You become more proficient. And the biggest thing when it comes to leveling up is not fucking up. That's it. It's not falling off. Pushing for progress all the time is not as efficient as not falling off. It's actually completely fine. Making progress for a month, chilling for a month, making progress, chilling for a month. And that's how, as long as you're not going down, you will move up. As long as you're in the game and you're playing the game, progress just happens. You know how when you go to the gym, the hardest part about like getting jacked is figuring out how to go to the gym consistently and then figuring out how to like eat consistently. That is it. That's your game. So 90% of your game is not fucking up. Literally just not doing stupid stuff. It's not pushing for a PR every day. That's not it. So if you're trying to like go to the gym for the rest of your life, doesn't it make sense to try to go to the gym for the rest of your life? It's logical. It's not about hitting a PR every day, even though I literally say in my videos, life is just a bunch of PRs. Like in life, there's so many ways to squeeze in a PR every day. Maybe it's not the gym, maybe it's your writing, maybe it's your work, maybe you just sleep more. It's a sleep PR. Hey, that's a win, right? So there's so many PRs you can hit. But they happen because you play the game, not because you push for them to happen. The best progress happens when you just show up and don't expect it. You know when you show up and you're like, I probably should skip this gym session. You go, you're underslept, you have no food, and you hit a PR. How does that work? I have no idea. But that's why you keep showing up. Because you keep killing mobs, you don't know which is the next one that levels you up. You just don't know. And you don't need to know, do you? If you can level up just by doing this thing, do you need to know when it's gonna happen? I don't really think so. So yeah, honestly, it's better to have a surprise than just anticipation like, oh my god, come on. Just such a much more positive feeling. But my main point is, imagine this. Imagine a person, and imagine if you're really well put together, really well spoken. You can communicate your ideas clearly and you can understand others. You do things on time, you're always on time, you're never late. And if people give you work, you do it well and you do it on time. How would you feel about yourself? Probably you're gonna feel good, you're probably gonna feel proud, and you're probably going to respect yourself. That is soul leveling. It is just not fucking up. Because if you can maintain that, it's like not going below 80% versus trying to like bump into like reach 100% every day. It is the not going below 80% that gives you confidence. That's it. It's just the thing that, because when you reach a peak of 100%, everything below that feels bad because you're never reaching your peak. But if you're not falling apart, it's much easier to respect yourself. If you're sleeping and you're eating and you're training, you're doing your job, you're basically doing anything, like you're doing good, like you're doing great. So you don't have to like beat up yourself. And people respect you for that. It's like when you do what you do well, people will give you more of that. Like they'll give you more opportunities. You get more clients, you get more work, you get more quests to level up. That's pretty much what happens. And I think my light is dying. So sorry about that. And that is That is kind of the game. 90% of your game is to not mess up, not slip up, not go below 80%. Because if you, it's much easier to maintain this having no weak points. It's much better to have no weak points than to be like a super specific expert. You can also become an expert. If you're an expert and you have no weak points, then you're like Alex Hormozi. Then you're like, oh my god, this guy is just like crushing it. But when you're in the beginning, just have no weak points. Like, why do we have this stereotype, jacked guy but dumb, or like skinny guy but smart? It's because each of them has a weakness. If you have no weak points, there's nothing that people can like go, oh, this is why I don't want to do business with this person. This is why I don't want to work with this person. And if you're like well put together, like we talked, you probably feel good going into like a job interview, going into a date, talking to girls, talking to your friends. You feel good about yourself going to the gym and being like, I'm gonna do some good lifting today. Just existing and living life becomes easier for you because you're free from all the mental burden of questioning yourself. That is what is most important. If you can get to a point where you wake up and like imagine if we just like pluck out the way you feel about things. Imagine if we just took that out of the equation. And your life basically is like you doing things. How much of a beast, how much of a monster would you be? You would be absolutely insane. That is soul leveling. So let's level up. Let's arise. Let's level up and get XP. Let's go.